to provide this great asset to the community. So if Dr. Dietz, if you could come forward and say a few words, we'd appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. My name is John Dietz. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in Indianapolis and a former Army Ranger. My combat arms career was cut short by a parachuting accident when I was 23 as a young lieutenant. And I always think about the two guys that were sitting next to me on that C-130 that night. The lieutenant to my right, Ray Womack, who gave his life for his country about a year later, and Lance Motley to my left, who died for his country in an ambush in Southeast Asia maybe 5 years later. But I went on and went back to medical school, went back to the Army as an orthopedic surgeon. And there are 122,000 veterans here in central Indiana, and you know that the VA is doing a great job of taking care of the most injured and the folks that need the care the most. But there's also a larger group of veterans out there who have reassimilated into their society, but maybe they're struggling a little bit. And you can't help those guys and women by going to them and saying, what do you need? What can I give you? Because they'll always give the same answer. I don't need anything, I'm good. But you can help them by going out to them and saying, will you come and help me help these other people? And that will be a great way to serve them. And you take that culture and then you combine that with the YMCA, which is a century of service and helping people with values and principles of honesty and integrity and service and respect. And you combine those two communities, then real magic can happen within the walls of this YMCA. And that's our dream. We've got the VA serving the most injured veterans, and hopefully the veteran community coming together here in Pike Township to help the YMCA serve the members of this very important community. And you talk about the word salute. I mean, I cannot imagine finding a better symbol of this YMCA than the statue that you guys are about to see. The salute is universally recognized as the gesture of respect and honor for our flag, honor for the national anthem, and honor for each other, and respect for each other. Every single veteran that walks into this facility is going to see this statue and instantly recognize that they are welcome, that they are respected, and that they are valued as a human being just walking into the facility. And over time, I believe that the community here in Pike Township will see the veterans, see the statue, and come to understand the meaning of the salute to our veterans and to each other, to respect one another. I want to quote one person, a guy that I greatly admired who was here from Indianapolis, General Andrew J. Goodpaster. I had the honor of working for at one time. And he told me once, our common standard is excellence. Our common inspiration is duty, honor, and country. And I can't think of a better symbol of those words than the statue that you're about to see. So thank you very much for being here. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you for your words, Dr. Dietz. Really appreciate that. And we wouldn't have a statue to unveil without an artist to provide that statue. And I wanted you all to know that we had a United States-wide contest through the Arts Council here to determine exactly the perfect piece that we would have for this. In fact, people came from all over the United States to present their ideas about what we'd have here this morning, and we ended up in a unanimous decision on what you'll see a little bit in just a few minutes. But I want to ask the artist, Clay Enoch, if he would come forward and say just a little bit about his work and the process. And Clay, thank you so much for your incredible idea and for your incredible work.
Well, it's a real honor for me to be here, and I want to introduce you to a word, force majeure. That's not the title of the sculpture, but it is a word that's been in a lot of contracts that I've signed as an artist, and I knew what it meant, I knew the definition, but I got to experience it last week here in Indianapolis while we were trying to install the sculpture. So what you're going to see today is not, unfortunately, it's not totally complete. So an act of nature, force majeure, prevented us from getting the final finish on the piece. It's mostly there, the form and everything is there, but there's a last coat of stucco to go on with the final color. So, like I said, it really is an honor to be here, and it was an honor for me to get a chance to use my creativity to show my gratitude to veterans and for the sacrifices that they make for the freedoms we enjoy. And I realized that even being a self-employed sculptor, that's a unique freedom, and I'm grateful for that. So let's talk about the actual sculpture. It's called Salute, and it is one of the first things I wanted to do is complement the architecture. And so I'm sure as you drove in, you saw this cylindrical silo shape part of the entrance of the building. And so the sculpture has two curved walls that echo that shape. And also the curved walls invite you in so that you can see the names that are inscribed on the panels, the names of veterans who have served our country. And then also they are saluting. They're saluting the flag of their branch of the military, but they're also saluting each other to show their strength and camaraderie. So there's a few people I want to thank because this would not be possible on my own. So as Eric mentioned, the Arts Council, and particularly Julia Moore, this wouldn't be possible without her tireless effort. And actually, when I leave, she's going to follow it through and see it to its completion. So then also, I'd like to thank the contractors on the job, Patrick, Larry, other guys that I met. Sometimes you're just tolerated on a construction site, and art it's a difficult thing to work into all the constructions, but I really appreciate their coordination with me. And then also the architect, I worked with Desma Belsauce of Schmidt Architects, and so I wanted to thank her. And then also the National Sculptors Guild was part of this job, and John Kincaid is the president. He was here with me last week installing. And then finally my foundry in Colorado, who helped create all the pieces. So my hope with this piece is that as people walk into the YMCA, they would pause and honor our veterans. And also my hope is for our veterans that they would experience health, in the words of the YMCA, in mind, body, and spirit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Clay. And also, Clay mentioned that it is still a work in progress as we see the piece this morning. As you know, the weather was not super cooperative this week. We had a lot of rain and a lot of cold. That doesn't do, there's still a process that has to be undergone with lighting and also some stucco work. So you're going to see the almost finished product here today. We have one more speaker that we'd like to bring forward, and we're so fortunate to have Tammy Burris with us. Tammy, could you come up and stand with me? Tammy was private second class in the Army. She's now the wellness coordinator for the Avondale Meadows YMCA, and we just asked her as a staff person and also a veteran if she would provide a few words for us this morning. Tammy, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I do thank you for this opportunity, for having the honor of being both a military veteran and a current employee of the Avondale Meadows YMCA. I was a teen mom in my senior year of high school with aspirations of attending college. The Army gave me that opportunity. After 3 years of service, I achieved the GI Bill and turned that dream into a degree. I spent 20 years in business management and then decided that I needed a life change, and health and fitness was the plan. After that, I came here to Indianapolis and I served as a member specialist and a Zumba instructor at the Avondale Meadows YMCA. So therefore, I am still currently serving, as he said, as the wellness coordinator, still serving people to the best of my ability, and Avondale Meadows. So therefore, both the YMCA and our military branches draw people from all backgrounds and walks of life. I hope that this statue will be a symbol of the strength and pride that can result from that type of diversity. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Tammy, and thank you for being part of the family of the YMCA as well as being a staff person. The time's almost here for us to unveil, but we had one other thing that we wanted to do because we wanted to ask veterans and current military members to stand now so that we can thank them for their service. Thank you so much. Thanks to all veterans. Thank you. Okay, you may be seated. I want to ask a few people to come up and kind of do the unveiling here. And I'd like to ask Dr. Dietz to come forward again. I'd like to ask Richard to come forward. Scott Taylor. I'd like to ask Ursula and Tammy to come forward. And we're going to have a few others here too. This is going to be a great, we want to make sure we get a picture of this as well. We'd like to ask Bill Preston to come forward, Patrick Kirby, and Jeff Iliff, excuse me. I had that backwards, sorry. And so, without further ado, I think we're ready to unveil the statue. Marissa, are we ready? Should we have a countdown? Okay, why don't I do a little countdown here? Tell me when you think you're all ready. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's beautiful. Now, what we're going to do now is I want to invite you all to come. Be able to, in just a second, to come forward to view the statue up close. We'd like for you to see the names and be able to read the names on the tags. We want you to know too, we've got a few hundred names on the statue already. We're anticipating this at some point in the future that this will be completely filled with names from veterans all throughout our community. And so there is still opportunity for names to be placed on the piece. We've got, like I said, a couple hundred already, but we think that we'll have 1,000 or more before it's complete. And so we're excited about that. I want to encourage all of you to also know that this new YMCA opens on December 3rd. So we're really only just a little, not even a month away from opening it. So it's right around the corner. What did I say?
20 days.
20 days, okay, 20 days. We're 20 days away. And just know that if you want to add someone's name to the piece, you can just contact us at the YMCA, and we'll be sure. I think we also have some flyers today that we can hand out if you would like to honor another veteran. So we're really excited about that. So please come and join us sometime on December 3rd. We actually have our openings of the YMCA ceremony. The ribbon cutting is going to be at 9:30 in the morning. So we want to thank everyone for being here this morning. Please come up and see the statue up close and find your veteran's name on there. All right, thank you so much for being here today.
Yours is still there.
Now I'm on blood thinners, and now they're coming out. Oh, so that's what. Okay, little plexus.